December 3, 2018. I'd like to call this meeting of the Logan County Commissioners to order. Please rise for the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 3, any citizen desiring to be heard? Hearing none. Item 4, consideration and possible action on approving minutes of November 30th, 2018.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second Mike's motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Chairman, we have none for 5 and 6.
None for 5 and 6. Okay. Item 7, consideration and possible action on the consent agenda.
I have no transfers. Here's the beginning of the cash funds. I'm still working up these others.
Okay. Damon not get back from Texas yet?
I believe he did return back. Approximately 7:30.
I'm glad he made it back.
Yes.
And of course, without his support, you probably wouldn't have done as well.
Oh yeah, it was a difference maker. Second half.
Did I see that?
I was waiting for the finish signing.
I see. Thought maybe you had Troy move all the O&M money, but still not.
It'd be helpful.
No kidding. Still ain't figured that deal out yet.
Well, it's funny, the Oklahoma Tax Commission can't tell you what the deal is either. What?
I'm beginning to wonder if they've mixed up CBRI because the CBRI gross production has jumped way, way high. And so I'm almost wondering if they've...
Well, I'm sure they never make a mistake. That they own up to.
They probably made one mistake and then they realized that they hadn't really made a mistake, and that was the mistake they made, thinking they made a mistake. There he is. Who is that? Never seen him go.
He's in jailbirds.
I am.
There you go.
Took all my career.
Big photo and everything.
You got a photo in jailbirds?
I do, every month.
Every month.
Pay a lot of money for that.
Okay. It's like a modeling thing or what?
It is.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Y'all been running together?
Keeping D2 clean. Good stay.
We've been having a cough-a-thon. What's in for lunch?
Few things.
Right, what?
Yeah. At 11 to 11. I'd be behind the rankings as far as hours of watch football in the state. Probably.
$31.97.
I get pretty bumming on Saturdays, especially this year.
Unofficial auto road.
Wake up.
Once a month, I mean, after a couple of years, that could add up.
Yeah, almost
TVs
by
you got?
a couple times.
Got multiples?
About 10 years.
2.
Already gone?
No, I think something's done that.
Just a little horse from the game. That one? From the yellow grease.
It's funny how.
Yeah, it's where he sold his equipment, but she's given me 2 cash cuts.
Yeah, one is for.
No. She's got it split on the 2
Oh, okay.
on here, but
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah, it's, I don't want to play. I take my
This-
hat and block it.
she's just got that receipt.
What was the last touchdown? That last touchdown.
That was away. I got another touchdown. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still thinking I wish you'd come to this one, so take us down.
Oh, yeah.
My Facebook page, it's like, he's much like
I think this one's really tired. How was she thinking for her little brother? Trying to put that big brother
There's a little things I could
in. Yeah.
every year. I said, we'll be like, it's preseason time. I said, every year, every year.
Inside there.
Right outside that open air, so like, man, you only pay $40. So like, man, you know, inside this 50
So, the original, this is the original
Yeah, we
one we
went
used
to
to
that.
pay off
See.
out of the tax fund, out of our tax money. So it's going back with the tax. And this is what
Print
was,
it out.
we netted additional to what it costs to pay off that credit.
So it's not that.
So that went into going in. Actually, it went into a capital account where you used to buy a piece of equipment with.
Well, I catch the replay on TV, so I can see everything.
Yeah, we actually made a little money on that auction instead of losing. If you don't count the monthly payments that we made.
Right.
Yeah, dude, Randolph, he's,
Yeah. So what's in the payments?
Well, the payments are is still cheaper than leasing it a month, but I don't know. And we got rid of that POS ball. Don't recommend Volvo road graders.
You don't think?
I don't recommend them now.
Yeah, that was,
I had 2 when I first came on board 10 years ago. And we finally, I think, got rid of them to some Australians in the auction there at LC. But yeah. Had one. They had 3 belts on them.
come on.
If y'all wanna move on to blankets while I finish this last cash.
Sure, more stretchable.
That were real deep in there, so you had to be real narrow. The one ran the fuel pump was the inside one, so you had to take the others off.
Well, I think the folks that bought this Volvo was also from a different country.
Yeah,
One to Iceland or something like that.
there you go. So they got rid of it on
That
this
was
one.
pretty abusive when you said that.
Oh, I got rid of it on them.
Yeah.
I was grinning when it was going out the gate on flatbed.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah,
I was feeling what you want. Cheap. Cheap machines.
I don't think it's pitch on YouTube. They really let top of the water. And it's 100 miles further driving. And it was where you can actually do that. All the free ice cream you ever want upstairs. All the free ice cream.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do the addendum while we're waiting on her to finish it.
I guess
You
we
want to?
can do that.
Yeah.
If there's no objection, we'll wait to finish item 7 and move on to addendum item 1. Consideration and possible action on approve supplemental and modification agreement number 1 CIRB project agreement for Luther Road Project JP 29367 to increase utility relocation cost to $600,000. Is this modifying our 5-year SERP plan?
Well, first off, I'd like to make the motion on that, but I would assume it is some type of a modification, but right away, I mean, utilities, right away has all been acquired. Utilities, this is the last gasp on that. 100,000 was minuscule for relocation of utilities. So,
Sure.
yeah, ODOT was able to find from another division that it's less than 600,000, but about 500. I think it was like 568,000.
So does this affect any of the priorities that we had on our
To the
SERP
best of my
plan?
knowledge, no. It just makes this one shovel ready is all it does.
What was the utility before this? How much was the?
It was 100,000 is what we had allocated for it for the 2 miles.
So,
And
so overall it's gonna be 700,000 because you're increasing it by 600,000, or just up to 600?
I believe it's in addition. It was 500 plus for these pipes. And what it is you've got a lot of operator lines going underneath Luther Road. And what the utility, DCP was going to charge us is like $2 million, and they came up with an alternative. Bobby Kinnison has been here to, I guess, and I don't know why he's not here now to explain a little bit better, but in any case, they came up with this plan where they will put some pipes in, some valves in, and be able to abandon all these operator lines going under Luther. Eventually has to be done. So it's a good thing for them, it's a good thing for us, but yes, they're wanting to transfer this 600,000 from another division into us. Now, how it affects everything overall, I don't know. But I would
Have we
assume,
got anything?
whatever ODOT wants to do, they'll do, you know how they are.
Yeah, I get it. So, my only concern is we've got two priorities already on our SERB plan.
Correct.
Coltrane Road Project and the interchange at I-35,
Mhm.
you know, over there on your side of the world as well. So, we made the commitment that those would be our priorities.
Correct.
So, as long as this doesn't come out of what funds we've already supposedly been allocated and then they took back, I mean, so if they've got funds, if they found extra funds, does that would imply that Coltrane's fully funded and so is I-35, right?
I wouldn't think so for this small amount of money, no. I mean, you know, I mean, it's,
$600,000. I mean, if you say it real quick, it sounds like a small amount of money, but it's a
when
chunk
would
of
you
change if I'm
consider
right,
many
then,
millions?
you know.
Yeah, right, right.
It sounds like they're just robbing somebody from a different
Division, as ODOT does.
Well, yeah.
Just like they were gonna do for your Coltrane project, that second 2 miles that you had.
Oh, well, I got $1 million in federal grant funds for that.
Right. It was the match, wasn't it, that you were doing?
It's a
Sir?
little more.
I think it says in there, or in the email that was attached to it, I'm not finding it, that the funding, this additional 500,000. So utilities were on CERB for 100,000 for Luther. They need to move it up to 600,000 because of these DCP pipelines, and that the additional 500,000 was being used from a different division's CERB funds. So it should not touch what we submitted, if I understand that correctly.
I guess my question, how'd they miss that by 500,000?
DCP pipeline.
How'd the engineer miss it by 500,000? I mean, that's a,
I suspect that that's the pipeline that went through probably after the engineering was done. This project is a
So-
long time, and DCP ran a line
So
all the way across.
we've received an email from ODOT saying that this money's coming from somewhere else.
It was a forward that I received to put this on the agenda, and I'm
Right.
trying to find it.
From,
May I see that document?
that was from Melissa Davis, who's the ODOT local government representative. Now, the way I understand what went down is that DCP had paid for additional private right-of-way. And when we bought the public right-of-way, it put a lot of that pipe on the public right-of-way. And they did not want it in public right-of-way. They wanted it on private right-of-way. So what the solution was to either move them so that they're not on the public right-of-way, or this fix that came up that Bobby engineered, basically, wherein the operators agreed to go a different route, which only cost $500,000 instead of $2 million. So, in any case,
as long as it don't bump our other projects out.
it won't, I'm sure, because the ODOT project for Waterloo is an absolute priority in their book, and I think they'll move heaven and earth on that one, as well as getting the rest of Coltrane paved. So, and your bridges, I'm sure they'll do that. But this is the only way we're going to get this one shovel ready. And who knows when it's going to get actually
I mean, I'd like to see.
constructed.
I'd like to see a copy of the email that came from the gal at ODOT that did that.
Yeah, print it off.
The only thing I'm finding right now is the forward. It didn't have the message, but I know I saw where it was stated that the monies were coming from a different ODOT division.
Right.
I mean,
But I'm not pulling it up on my phone.
I can't. Sure.
So did you have the right of way bought before they laid this new line?
I'm sorry. Say again.
Did the county already buy the right of way before they laid the pipe?
Correct. Oh, no, not before they leave the pond, no. No, we bought the right of way, and like I say, these are,
Okay. I'm just making sure we're liable for paying them.
okay. For your consideration, there's a CERB supplement,
Which is what this
Supplemental.
is.
for your
Yeah.
consideration.
I'm probably wrong on this, but I didn't think the Luther project was even on our 5-year plan anymore. May have been.
That's all she did, was she just sent the.
The utility relocation for Luther had already been encumbered on the original for the last
Mhm.
2 or 3 5-year updates.
Right.
So that's, I think, while it was dropped from priority with what we filed this year, the utility relocation was already underway and part of their encumbered.
So on the Luther project, the only thing you like is utility relocation?
Utility location, they said they could do it in 100
I'm not
days,
finding
once the money is encumbered, and they get a schedule. Take them 100 days, that put it somewhere around mid-year, that they would have that completed and the project would then be shovel-ready. But it doesn't move the construction ahead of these other two whatsoever. It's only the
Does this,
$500,000 addition.
is this time sensitive, absolutely has to be done today, or can we move this to the 15th so we can get a little more information from ODOT about, I mean, cause I don't have that. I'd like to look at the email and I'd like to understand what ODOT's commitment is to the other projects that we have on the list as well.
Okay.
Ma'am?
There's another part of this which I wasn't understanding, because that's what Bobby was here and talking about on Friday.
Yes.
Is he's got something else coming that ties to this, and I think it was the project agreement for the work to be done that was all tied to getting this done. So this had to come first to approve the supplemental for the money part, so that the follow-up in engaging the contract work, which is what Bobby was saying was supposed to be here, and that's what he and I were talking about. He had to have it here on the 14th. So there is a 2-part. As far as time-wise, I was told this was time-sensitive. I don't know if that's true.
So do we want a special?
We'll make a motion
Get them
on
together.
contingents.
It just seems like there's a lot of unknowns here. Maybe not a lot of them.
We
but-
can table it and put this item, if we get the other one to follow behind it. They can be, as far as I know, both will be done.
I would like to do that if we could, if it's not gonna cause a further delay in the project, which it doesn't seem to be, because, I mean, you still gotta do operational.
Well, the
stuff,
construction,
Yeah, yeah.
right.
And it's gonna be a
every-
few days before we get money for that too, right?
Well, you know, that's true.
Yeah, okay.
You know, as soon as the legislators step up to the plate, right?
Right, there you go.
Uh-huh,
Okay,
yeah.
so we can table this to the 14th?
Should we table that, or do we need to have a special session?
Mine-
Do you think 14th will work?
I don't know. I'm the one that
Okay.
received the panic. We had to do an addendum. This was time sensitive and had to go now. That's all I know.
Okay, all right.
But now, from what Bobby said the other day, there's another piece to this puzzle.
Yes.
So put it all together for the 15th.
Okay.
And if it's an emergency, we gotta do it. I mean, I understand that, but I'm really leery of emergencies. You gotta sign this without knowing and having all the information in front of you. That concerns me a little bit.
How about this? How about we table it? I'll put out some follow-up and see if I can get an understanding. If necessary, because there is a time sensitivity, the board can choose to call a special meeting.
Sounds good to me.
Else we'll table it till the 14th. Okay.
We had another blanket come in.
So back to item 7 then, right?
Yes, sir. with Shannon leaving and all, I mean, there's just a lot of uncertainties going on in the CERT program right now.
That's for sure.
I can just hear somebody say, well, I never made that agreement.
Any more cash?
No, that's it for the consent.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda items.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on consent? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously. Item 8, any citizen desiring to be heard? Hearing none. Item 9, comments, announcements, questions by the Board of County Commissioners. Mike? Mike, you got anything?
No, sir.
Okay. I got one item, and that is the Keep Oklahoma Beautiful Foundation gave out 3 awards Friday evening. 2 of them went to Deputy Don Huggins for the great work that he's been doing in our county to assist with cleaning up the dump sites and that kind of stuff. For years and years and years, it seems like Logan County roads have been used as a dump site, and we're starting to get out ahead of that. This one award here in front of us here is one that they gave to the Logan County Commissioners and the County Sheriff for our assistance of Deputy Huggins in doing that work. And it's like I've told other folks, we just kind of agreed to let him go to work, and that's the most that I think that we accomplished there was supporting the program. But he's the guy that's been out doing that day in and day out, and I really appreciate everything he's been doing. And Damon, if you'd pass that along again, I know we talked about that, but there's the little award and the certificate and the little handout they gave that's got the write-up in there about that as well. And that's all I've got. Anything else? Entertain motion on item 10.
Make the motion to adjourn.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.